What's up guys, in this video comparing the Pixel 6 Pro with the Galaxy A32 5G. We got a flagship versus a super budget. Let's go ahead and take a look. And first of all, both of these are great that they have both come in with 5G, so they're super fast. This is the baseline for phones now. No more LTE, no more 4G. Pretty much you can get a cheap phone at least with 5G. Price points couldn't be any different. Pixel 6 Pro, $900. A32 5G could be had unlocked for around $200, or you can get it for free in most cases with prepaid carriers in the US. Now, size-wise, they're going to be fairly almost the same. Weight-wise, almost the same as well. 7.4 ounces for the Pixel, 7.2 ounces for the Galaxy. Build quality very different. Pixel 6 Pro has a glass front, glass back, aluminum frame. A32 5G, glass front, plastic frame, plastic back. So we have aluminum and glass versus a plastic device. The Pixel 6 Pro also has an eSIM built in, very handy, very underappreciated. You can have two different cell phones, cell phone numbers, two different data plans, and also you could have activation without a physical SIM card. A32 does not have that. Another thing that the Pixel Pro has over the A32 is that it has IP68 dust and water resistance up to 1.5 meters for 30 minutes. Now let's talk display. Both of these have fairly large displays, especially the Pixel 6 Pro, 6.7 inches versus 6.5 on the Galaxy. Screen real estate on the front, you get more on the Pixel 6 Pro, almost 89% screen to body ratio versus 81.5 on the A32 5G. Now, the Pixel 6 Pro has an AMOLED 120 Hz display versus the 90 Hz display on the A32. So they're both kind of high end up there in the refresh rate, so I'm kind of surprised right there. The A32 is holding its own. As for resolution, it's a different story. Pixel 6 Pro, 1440 resolution versus the 720p resolution on A32 5G. PPI density in the 500s for the Pixel, it's 270 for the A32 5G. And also the Pixel 6 Pro has an always on display. Now let's move on to software. Very different here. Pixel 6 Pro, stock Android 12 straight from Google. You have Android 11 with Samsung UI on the A32 5G. The good thing about Pixel is you're going to get several years of software updates yearly and on time, very fast. Pixels get them day one, and no different with the Pixel 6 Pro. It's going to get 3 years of Android software updates and also 5 years of security updates, while Samsung is going to give updates on its phones, even budget and mid-rangers. Don't expect them to get them anytime soon. They're still on Android 11. They're going to take a while for them to hit all the phones. After storage, Pixel 6 Pro 128 gigs versus the 64 gigs on the A32. 12 gigs of RAM on the Pixel 6 Pro. 4 gigs of RAM on the A32 5G. So a big difference in RAM, just way better on the Pixel 6 Pro. A32 does have microSD card slot to expand storage capabilities, so that's one advantage right there for the A32. Now let's move on to cameras. Pixel 6 Pro has 3 cameras, 50 megapixel the main camera, 48 megapixel telephoto, 12 megapixel ultra wide. The A32 has 4 cameras on the back, surprisingly. 48 megapixel main, 8 megapixel ultra wide, 5 megapixel macro, 2 megapixel depth. And both of these phones shoot in 4K. So on the camera front, I was kind of surprised to see this. It's a good comparison. They both have ultra wide cameras. And for the most part, the A32 5G is respectable, especially in the daylight. You'll take some great pictures and video, but the Pixel 6 Pro is obviously the beast when it comes to the photo and video department. It's just the best in class. Selfie camera, also the Pixel 6 Pro is besting the A32 5G. It has an 11 megapixel ultra wide camera. Let me repeat that, ultra wide. Not a lot of phones have that. You're holding it to take a selfie shot with a bunch of your friends, boom, the Pixel 6 Pro will get everybody in the shot, no problem. The A32 5G has a regular 13 megapixel camera. You can shoot 4K on the Pixel 6 Pro selfie, 1080p on the A32 5G. Now, there's no headphone jack on the Pixel 6 Pro, but there is on the A32 5G, a little bonus right there. Bluetooth 5.2 on the Pixel, 5.0 on the Samsung. Not much difference there. They're both connect to your wireless devices. NFC on the Pixel 6 Pro. Also on the A32 5G, you get NFC depending on your market. USB Type-C charger for both. Now, they both have a fingerprint reader, but the Pixel 6 Pro has under the display versus the A32 5G, they side-mounted fingerprint reader. I think the Pixel 6 Pro doesn't have a really good fingerprint reader because some people say it's slow, and I really much prefer a physical, either rear or side-mounted fingerprint reader as in the A32 5G. So it's a little bit of a win right there with Samsung. As for battery life, both of these have big old batteries. Both have 5,000 mAh batteries. All-day battery life. Battery is not a problem on these devices. They both have fast charging. Pixel 6 Pro has 30 watts, 50% charge in 30 minutes. A32 5G has half that, fast charging at 15 watts. Pixel 6 Pro also has fast wireless charging at 23 watts and reverse wireless charging. So the Pixel 6 Pro has a lot more charging options. Obviously, the overall better device is the Pixel 6 Pro, but you're paying a premium for it, $900, which is not bad in a sense that it's $200 less than like an iPhone Pro Max or a Samsung Galaxy Ultra. It's definitely value driven for $900 when you compare it by itself, but compared to the A32 5G, that offers real good value because you can get it for as low as free or $200 full price, and it offers a lot of value. Like if you expand the storage on it, it has 4 cameras, it has a huge battery, it has a fairly large screen. It shoots 4K on the camera, so there's some things to like about the A32 5G. But if you want overall, like, there's no faults really in the Pixel 6 Pro except one thing in this category. It's going to be the fingerprint reader. Some people say it's a little bit slow, and yeah, I much prefer a physical fingerprint reader on the side or on the back. But for $900, you're getting a lot of bang for your buck on the Pixel 6 Pro. It has everything that you possibly need, especially in the camera department and in the processor. It has a Google Tensor processor. The A32 5G has a more lower-end MediaTek processor, so definitely the A32 5G is for budget-minded people that don't do much more than regular everyday activities like Twitter and taking pictures and stuff like that. Pixel 6 Pro is geared more towards power users such as gamers, video editing, and just using a lot of apps. So there you have it, guys. Both offer value, but for different people. I definitely thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.